What is going on, guys? As you can see, the 914 behind me, that means we got it back at the house. We're gonna start stripping it down a little bit and getting some of the old stuff out of the way so we can keep going at the rotary swap. So while we're doing the rotary swap in it, I want to change out some of the wiring. It's been modified quite a bit over the last couple of years to accommodate some different things. So I want to start fresh with that. So tonight we're gonna pull the seats out, get rid of the wiring, get rid of that. As you can see, I jumped it to, that's for the fuel pump. Jump that to get it running. Yeah, so we're gonna strip it down some tonight. Rotary's tucked in there. I'm gonna start off with pulling the seats out. They got some side mount brackets that we'll undo real quick here. Alright, so we got the driver's seat out. You can kind of see the seat brackets there. Next up, we'll pop the passenger one out. As you can see, it's fairly dirty as well. Been sitting for a couple of years. So once everything is out of the way, we'll get it all cleaned up as well. Alright, so got both the seats out. Whip on over here. Next up, we're gonna pull that guy out. I'll probably end up reusing that. It's a hot rod controls switch panel. Pretty slick little setup. Got the ribbon cable that runs over to their little relay box that is also fused on the center, so that guy's pretty slick to use. Starter and everything's on that. You can switch any of those, configure them all to momentary or standard. So yeah, we will pull this out, and also gonna ditch that nice little fuel pump wiring jobber. That was when I switched up a little bit on that guy. I just jumped it to make it run temporarily. So we'll get going on that. Alright, so got the wiring all out of the cockpit there. Took the gauges out as well. Left a little bit there for the brake pedal switch. But yeah, so that's pretty much what consisted of the wiring inside the car, minus the battery cables. There's the last gauge panel I made up for the stock motor. This will get changed up because obviously we'll have to add coolant temp, being it was air cooled before. So we'll have to figure out what I want to do for a gauge pack on it. Maybe I'll do a dash setup, but we will see. Next thing, we're gonna yank that LED light bar off. I actually had this on. It had some little headlights in there as well. I did street drive this for a short period in pretty much this setup. Had taillights, headlights, and then that fancy little light bar. That is no longer functional. Kind of shorted it out at the first autocross this thing was at. But that's a story for another day, kind of interesting, but we'll go into that later. Did you catch it, Sasha? So, we'll get that off, get the rest of the wiring out of the front trunk area, and we'll keep stripping her down some. All right, so got the interior emptied out some, and we will stop there for tonight on that. I'll have to grab a vacuum, get this all cleaned up. But as you can see here, there is what we pulled out. Didn't really amount to much. Car is pretty simply set up right now. Should be pretty lightweight, and that coupled with the extra power of the little Rotary should make for a fun car. I don't know, hopefully see somewhere around 1,900 pounds with it all said and done. And before I go tonight, I just want to do one more quick thing. I want to pull the Racing Beat header off this guy. Right down there. It's going to be too dark for you guys to see, but we're going to yank this guy off. Must have a bolt on it here. Pull that guy out. All right. So there's that guy. This thing is a tank. I don't know if they used, how thick of a wall they used on it, but weighs probably triple what it needs to weigh. Reason I want to pull that off is I want to take some measurements. Going to order a new header flange to go on the engine so I can build the new exhaust setup for this guy. So I'll grab a tape measure here. We'll see what the Racing Beat one is. Here, Sasha, move. Move, Sash. All right, you guys are not helping. You understand? Not helping. All right, looks like those guys are about 1 3/4 on the inside diameter. And we'll measure the engine side here. Gonna be a little bit of a interesting deal to get there. want to say those guys are about 1.5 inches, but I could be wrong. I'll have to grab a calipers to get an accurate measurement on that. But that is where we're going to end it tonight. Stay tuned and we will keep going on this guy. Got a few more things to do, but ordered a counterweight from the Mazda dealership so we can get started on that. And then I also talked to Kennedy Engineering this week and decided to get their newer style flywheel for this guy. So they switched the flywheel that I have from them is a 200 millimeter clutch. It'd be the Volkswagen size clutch, and their new flywheel is set up for the 215 millimeter Porsche clutch. So it'll use the 914 clutch, so we can get a little more holding power out of that. But we'll keep ticking away at it. We're gonna try and get the exhaust made. We'll get the interior cleaned up there, and I will start on the wiring. So if you guys want to keep following along on this guy, hit that subscribe button, and we'll keep having some videos, and should be a little more regular update now that it's home at the garage, so I can work on it at night a little easier. But yeah, so until next time, Sasha, honey, say bye. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, appreciate you guys killing a little time with me tonight. Thanks.